Hey everyone, in this video I'll go over the highlights of the recent Aptera live event with Steve and Sarah, and just going over the latest updates from Aptera that was shared with Aptera investors. So as a disclaimer, I'm an official Aptera investor. I invested in the previous round where the shares are valued at $3.80. So just wanted to give all of you an update about the company and where they're at right now. So um, in the background, I have the Aptera launch video just playing in the background, just for something to see. So I'll just read the updates from the notes I have here. So they talked about their previous funding rounds, particularly with WeFunder. So as you may recall, they were through the SAFE agreement, and they weren't specified at a specific price, so they gave more clarity on that. So from what they said, the first refund round, those shares were valued at about 44 cents, and the second round was valued at about 80 cents. And their first round outside of WeFunder and on their official website, those shares are valued at $3.80, and the current round, as of this recording, is those shares are valued at $8.80. Now, as they mentioned, they are now a Reg A plus Tier 2 company. So from what they said, they're now considered semi-public, which means they report 2 times a year with their various SEC documents that you may have found on their investment page, in their financial filings there. Now they gave some insights into some new hires, actually. Two notable hires. I didn't get their names, so if you happen to know their names, please let me know down in the comments. But from what I have on my notes, one of them is the VP of Supply Chain and Logistics, and they were formerly from Tesla and SpaceX. I believe their first name was Pablo. So again, correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comments. And their other new hire is for the CFO position, and they were on board of a SPAC, or one of the many SPACs out there. And they've also completed 2 SPAC deals prior to joining Aptera. So speaking of SPACs, their Aptera's plan is to go public in the next 12 to 18 months, with some possible investment rounds between now and the time they go public. So just as my personal opinion slash speculation, I think that with their CFO being familiar with SPACs and their plan to go public in the next 12 to 18 months, would stand to reason that Aptera would go public via SPAC in the next 12 to 18 months. Again, that's just my personal opinion, observation. So we'll see how that plays out. They also touched on their Monroe partnership. So they're working with Monroe and Associates to for advising, really, to get their manufacturing up to speed and things like that. So they said they brought manufacturing support, particularly with subassembly, cut paneling, etc. So some good news there. In terms of their current investment round, you may know that they're now accepting crypto, particularly Bitcoin and Ethereum. And they also mentioned that Dogecoin would be a potential investment payment option in the future. So that is TBD for now. So just thought that was interesting that they mentioned Dogecoin would be a potential crypto investment option. Again, they touched on WeFunder. So again, it's through a SAFE agreement. So if there are any issues, they mentioned going to hello@wefunder.com. Question came in about EV tax credits and how that may affect the price, the final price of your Aptera. And they basically said do your own research. They mentioned they do have a lobbyist group working for them to try and make something's happened there in Washington in terms of getting the same EV tax credits that um, many other EVs, particularly four-wheeled EVs, are getting because their current vehicle is a three-wheeled vehicle. There seems to be some discrepancies there in terms of how the EV tax credit structure works. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. They also touched on the chip shortage. So, like with many other EVs and electronics, there's a chip shortage and a material shortage. So they said they were affected by that, but they still plan to have their uh, reservation holders have their Apteras by 2022, at least according to the website. And they touched on their partners they're working with, Roush and Elefi. So for Roush, they mentioned they're working on door design as part of their sub-assembly. They're also working on the ceiling, latching, ceiling, hinges. Their their door design, making sure it's compliant with with street compliant, and as well as their front and rear suspension. In terms of global expansion, they mentioned they're mainly working in North America and with some interest in Europe, particularly Norway, France, and Germany. In terms of their battery packs, they were working on I believe it was a 2500 kilowatt pack. Again, let me know down in the comments if that was to clarify that. And they mentioned range options. It's not they wouldn't be exact. So, for example, they mentioned the 600 mile option would probably be around 602 to 607, depending on the final battery pack there. And they mentioned they don't have any plans to be acquired as of this time, as they mentioned about going public in the next 12 to 18 months. In terms of manufacturing, there was a question about their production being handmade versus mass produced. So again, they touched on how Monroe and Associates was advising them on how to scale their production capacity, and they said they weren't looking to over automate for now. So they're looking to create hand produce their whole manufacturing supply first, and then automate as they see fit to gain efficiencies there. Now, for the future vision of Aptera, they touched on that. They're going beyond three-wheeled vehicles, and they mentioned that the solar aspect of their EV, or the solar EV, is a great vertical where they can get into many other car types or vehicle types, such as a four-wheel crossover, and they mentioned a five-seater in particular. They also mentioned delivery vehicles and semis, and with a complete vertical integration of their vehicle and I believe they're charging as well. So definitely some good news there about the future of Aptera beyond the beta vehicles and the Sol and Luna vehicles. So great news there. So yeah, just thought I would give all of you a quick update on Aptera with the latest news from the co-founder himself, as well as Sarah. Again, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on bell notifications to get notified when my videos get uploaded. Also, be sure to comment down below anything else you want to see and learn, and share this video with anyone interested in learning more about EVs and Aptera. And follow me on my socials to get even more personal finance content. With that said, thank you for watching. Take care.